Hi guys! Today the project I am going to be doing is a double flap triangle pouch that is meant to hold coins or hair ties or whatever else you can put in there. This is a 6x10 hoop version. Sorry. So this is the one that I'm doing in the video today, and that's the 6x10. Then we have the 5x7 version as well. You can see that's the difference between the two of them. Let's just see here. Ooh, this one. You can put different snaps on them, whatever you want. So you can see that it is quite good at holding the change in. So no worries, even with two pockets, I don't think there will be a problem. You've got one pocket there and one pocket there. Same pocket. So you can get in your money that way. Flip it over. Get in your money that way. And there we go. And you can fit, if you guys like to take quarters to Aldi or any of those other places, you can fit a bunch of quarters in the little one. See? All right. So let's get started. What we need for this project for the triangle double fold pouch is we need a piece of batting, and I use a fusible fleece. This side is the sticky side and the iron-on side, and it will be face up. We need a piece of outside material. I have an SF 101 Pellon fabric ironed on the back of it, and we need a lining material, and again I have an SF 101 Pellon on the back of it. You will need scissors. You need your hoop with some stabilizer in it. I have used a lightweight tearaway. It's also kind of like a cutaway, and that's what I like to use for a lot of my projects. You can see through it very easily though. As well, we will need either a regular sewing machine to close up the sides, or you can use a fusible web, or you can use glue, and you need some sort of snaps. I have used these little metal button snaps, and I have pliers to put them on. So the first step is to run the placement stitch. All right, let's do that. All right, after that, the next thing we need to do is run the batting, and I have a fusible fleece with the fusible side facing up. Okay, next we need to cut the batting. So the placement stitch was done, the batting tack down was done. So now we have to cut out around the batting. And you need to cut close for this project. Okay, now that that is done, we need to place on the piece that you want either the stipple on if you're using stipple, or if not, I use this as the inside piece. However, if you want to do a design on it, I think it could be the outside piece as well. The reason I left the fusible fleece side up is so that I could do a quick little iron that helps hold it in place. If you use regular batting, you need to either use a tape or a spray adhesive to hold that on. And now to take it back to the machine, and I am going to run a stipple stitch. So now that the stipple stitching is done, it is time for the last part. And for that, so the stipple stitching, just so you know, is done on the right side. So the wrong side with the SF101 on it is face down, right side face up. And the last piece of material is going to be right side face down, so that right sides are together. Okay. And then we are going to do the last step that keeps them together. And now the stitching is done, so we have to take it back to the cutting board and cut it out and iron it into place. Okay, so you can see that the outline stitching has been done. The back has the batting, and you can see the stipple. And now we need to cut it out. Alright, this is a lightweight style tearaway cutaway, so I do need to make a little clip in it and just tear it along the edge. I believe this is the Pellon tracing paper, but I use it as a stabilizer. Okay, and then we need to cut where the turning hole is. You can see this little spot here that is open as our turning hole. So you need to cut, and I like to cut on the diagonal. Don't cut the stitch, cut right to that. And then we need to cut out around, we'll fold that up, we need to cut out around the rest of it. I leave about 1/8 of an inch except for around the corners. I go a little closer there. The corners will need to be clipped to sit nicer. Tip that back up. And for this one, that is the pointed corner. I still clip along there. For the rounded corners, clip, clip. We'll cut the stitching. And one more. So, I'm going to cut this a bit shorter. Don't need that much in my turning hole. Yeah. And now I'm going to give just a little press to my fusible and set the stitches in place. It always helps them a little. And then you open the turning hole. I find it easiest, you can see there's where the turning hole is, there's a shorter side and kind of like a longer side. So I reach in to the point on the longer side and put my finger in and poke it. Poke the little point through gently, and then you can poke that right out the turning hole. And the other one, same thing, kind of fold that back on itself a little bit and fold out. There we go. Now, find, there we go, poking out the corners. You can use whatever tool you use. I like this one. Don't poke so hard that you poke through the stitches. Make this one straight. Get that in there. There we go. And this is the other mini rounded corner. It's not all that rounded. Okay, so you see we have a piece that is the front and the stippled back. And the next thing we have to do is press it all, and you'll need to figure out which way you want to close the turning hole. I usually like to stitch around the whole edge for myself. It's just easier for me. I'm not going to sew this closed, but I am going to give it a press. There we go. This side. So what I usually do is I usually go do a top stitch around the whole thing, and that way I don't have to worry about closing the hole, it just stitches around. Or another option is you can use fusible, which is what I'm going to do at this second, and you can stick that in if you would prefer, or people who have a fabric glue that they use. So we'll just do that. So now the whole thing is done except for we have to fold it. So I find it easiest just to give a little press inside where the triangles are going to fold. That's one of the reasons there's spaces in there. The other is so it will fold nicely, except for iron. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take the middle pieces. Doesn't matter which way you have it. You take the middle pieces and you fold the middle piece up. So use the fold you have and you fold it up there. I flip it over just to see if I have it right. And you can also use a tool if you want to get that a little pointier there, and then give it a press along that. Your piece is like this. Then you need to take the piece over here and you need to fold it up, so that is one of the pockets, and the snaps will be added to that. Then you take the piece, flip it over, and here's the second pocket piece. It is a little thicker, but if you press, it really helps it stay down. There we go. So now you have what kind of looks like a Z. And you have a pocket here, and that's going to get a snap, and you can turn it over, and then you have the pocket here. It is the same pocket with two flaps on it. Let's get my snaps back. And I have been using a cam snap for these, but this time I thought I would give this one a shot and see how these little button ones worked for me on here. I'm going to give that a try. For the button ones, you have to poke through the little points, which is not all that much fun. The cam snaps are nice because they have the one piece to it. And then you need to add the other side of this. And on the back of the button snaps, there's two sides to it. You have that side and you have this side. And this side has the groove, so that side goes on top of the little prong portion. Get this in here. I think I have that the right way. I'm not even sure if that was in the right way, but it seems to have held. So the next thing is you fold it back up so that you can find where you want the other one to go underneath it. I want the other one to go right there. I'm going to take, oh, I gotta poke through on this one. Because with this one, you have to go on the other side, and you need to poke through the prongs on that one, which is why that would make cam snaps so much easier than this. But I thought I'd give it a try. Not to mention, these little prongs ruin your nails. Not that I have very many nails. And this one, the male portion, goes there. And back into the press. flips around. Where did it go? There we have it. One step. There we go. And then for the other flap, you do the exact same thing. So we need to figure out, I'm going to leave that open, figure out where I want that to go. And you don't want to put it too low. It's easier to put it up just a little bit to be able to add, or to be able to pull up when you're done trying to get out the coins or whatever it is you put in there. There we go. And this piece. I think that worked. Yep. Now to find the place for the other one. And I'm missing the other piece of my snap. Here it is. All right, going to find that. There. And these are so simple to make. If you're using cam snaps, it'd be way easier, or a lot quicker than these. If you're using cam snaps, you should probably use ones that have that on the back so that the cap piece doesn't get in the way on the inside of the pocket. I don't have any of those, but I do know they make them. And you can see the prongs are coming through there. Then you put the piece on the back. Give it a press. Okay, so the snap pouch is done. And you can either add an eyelet to it somewhere, which is what I have done for the rest of them. See, I put a little eyelet up there. It's a 3/16 inch eyelet with a washer on the back. And you can put it where you wanted it. And then fill it with some change. You can see it is not going to fall out. And you have two ways you can open it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this project and are going to give it a shot. It's cute, it's quick, and you can use up a whole bunch of scrap fabric. Great, thank you.